So let me explain some things that might help you understand why the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul match went the way it did. See, Jake Paul had a problem. People thought his fight with Mike Tyson was terrible, awful, shouldn't have happened, and was just a money grab. Now, we're gonna focus on that money grab part. Cause see, first things first, Jake Paul is trying to sell you as many tickets as possible. And he does that two different ways. One, the person he's fighting has to be entertaining enough for you to want to watch them. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, and a bunch of fighters who really stopped fighting a long time ago. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. See, the second thing that Jake does to sell you tickets is by trying to make you hate him. And well, that's kind of easy for him because everyone already hates him, but he puts on glasses. He calls himself the problem child. You want to see one of these older legends, so you watch the show. But let me let you in on a secret. Jake Paul is in a lot more trouble than you would think. Because what he thinks he's doing is using the same strategy Muhammad Ali used. See, Muhammad Ali had a quote. It said, "Love me, hate me, I don't care. Just buy a ticket." Because not many people know this, but when Muhammad Ali was first starting out his career, people hated him. Because Muhammad Ali was not your traditional boxer. He was always making jokes, always running his mouth, while other boxers were stoic, locked in. So people wanted to see Muhammad Ali get silenced. People would buy a ticket, Muhammad Ali would win. Jake Paul thinks he's doing the same thing again, but there's a key difference. The difference being, even though Muhammad Ali was all fun and games, deep down inside, he was a monster. A once-in-a-generational talent who could back up his mouth. So people would say, yeah, he talk a lot, but he could throw hands. Same as Money Mayweather, who took this strategy to the modern age. People would be like, yeah, he talk a lot, but he could throw hands. Jake Paul, people just say he talk a lot. So here's what he had to do. He had to keep changing his strategy every time because people aren't as dumb as you think. He's fighting retired MMA fighters, but by like the third time, people are over. They're not watching no more. Jake Paul like, where y'all going? They're like, we seen you do the same thing like 5 other times. Jake Paul is like, no, but I really want to be a boxer. People are like, well then fight a boxer. So Jake Paul changes his strategy. He fights a boxer named Tommy Fury. And Tommy Fury, who's Jake Paul's age and actually boxes, demolishes him. But Jake Paul didn't do too bad, but that's because everything he does is strategic. Jake chose Tommy Fury because Tommy Fury really just started his career for real. So Jake's team's thinking, okay, Jake's got a shot. Tommy Fury also don't knock people out. Jake's team thinking, we got this. They didn't have it. Because this is what Tommy Fury does. Now, are you keeping up so far? We're in phase 2 of Jake Paul's strategy. Phase 1, fight big name MMA fighters, make a lot of money. People get bored, lose a lot of money. Jake Paul says, y'all want to see me fight a real boxer? People say, yeah. Makes a lot of money. He loses, people are like, oh no, Jake can't box. We don't want to see it again. That's where Muhammad Ali and Mayweather were different. They can box, so people are like, okay, we can keep watching them. Jake Paul has to do something, and here's where it starts to get wicked. He says, well, what about Mike Tyson? It's the perfect plan, because it's Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. Kids, let me tell you something. If anybody ever looks at you like this, walk away. But anyway, funny enough, people weren't going for it. They still weren't really fooled. They said, oh, it's going to be one of Jake Paul's fake little WWE matches. So Jake Paul had to come out and say, no, there's knockouts involved. People were like, Then Jake Paul says, this is going on our boxing records. People then said, People said, this is going to be attached to their records, their legacies. Mike Tyson finna take this serious. But people don't know Mike Tyson. See, Mike Tyson throughout his life has been through a lot. A lot. I might make a story on him one day. So much so he had to go through guided spiritual journeys and therapy, or he was gonna. And it helped him escape the man he used to be, who he says he was terrified of. And well, y'all have to pay attention to what he is saying and how he's saying it. A lot of people saw a glimpse of, the new person Mike Tyson is from the interview he had with Jaslyn, who, by the way, is fantastic. He says, who cares about legacy? Legacy is nothing. We're all gonna be gone soon, turned to dust. Which means he probably doesn't care about his boxing records. But most importantly, look at who he's saying this to. He's saying this to a child. When you talk to a child, you're supposed to say things a certain way. But Mike Tyson just says how he feels. And that's why I think the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight wasn't scripted, but it's probably a lot simpler than that. I think on Mike Tyson's end, 1, he wanted $20 million that he got paid for the fight. And 2, he wanted to box again, just for fun. In fact, he says this at the end of the match. Just complete honesty. They asked him after the match, they said, you gonna do this again? What you're supposed to say is, no, I'm just an old man. These legs ain't what they used to be. Then everyone cheers. And then maybe you do it again if you feel like it. But he said, yeah, I think so. The interviewer said, oh, why? Because I have fun. He says maybe he'll box the other Paul brother. Who knows? But I feel like Mike is just coasting. Also, Mike Tyson's 58. Jake Paul's 27. There doesn't need to be a script. Jake Paul is going to probably win. Wait, but listen to me. Not every 27-year-old could just beat Mike Tyson. Jake Paul is not that bad of a boxer. Again, he's probably not going to beat boxers that really do that and are his age, but an older retired boxer with an injured leg, probably. Jake Paul's also not dumb enough to knock out Mike Tyson or even hurt Mike Tyson. If Jake Paul did that, his career would have been over. And that's why for the last few rounds, Jake Paul didn't really swing. He thought Mike Tyson was tired. He was like, all right. And really, it's a win for Mike, and actually not as big as a win for Jake as you would think. Yeah, he made a lot of money doing this, but money isn't everything. He can't do this again. People will not be fooled again. Next time he gets in the ring, he gotta fight. Because if he don't throw hands with a boxer his age, he gotta challenge Kamala Harris. Because ain't nobody watching it. And he says from the bottom of his heart, he wants to be taken seriously as a boxer. And he wants to become world champion. But he not like this guy. Remember what we talked about earlier, kids? You see those eyes, you walk away. You walk away. You run away. If y'all don't know who this guy is, don't worry. He's coming soon. Again, you walk away. This one's a little harder. Let me cover this for you. Walk away. This guy though, nah, there's something missing. You can approach.